gentlemen. Welcome to another segment of the Come Up, and you are on with the Dark Prophet. So today, the title of my conversation is titled Crude Business. That's the title, Crude Business. And by the end of this talk, you will understand why the title is called Crude Business. I find it very interesting. There's a quote by Refinery I find very interesting. And the quote goes like this. He said, national pathologies, the origin to national pathologies can be found in the upbringing. Just loosely quoting him, National pathologies, their origin can be found in the upbringing. So what he's basically saying is that national problems, problems that we face, if we want to know the origin, we should go to the upbringing. How people raise their children, we will now find the origin of that. Let's say, for example, that Nigeria is dealing with corruption now. That corruption is a major issue in Nigeria. We all know it's a major issue. If you want to know the origin of it, all we have to do is go and observe how parents train their children, and we will find out how it starts and what the origin is. You understand what I'm saying? So that's what he's talking about. And if you look at what he's saying, there's some truth in it, because we all come from families. We all have a family. We were raised by, whether it's your mom, your dad, your auntie, your uncle, your grandma, whoever, someone raised you. And if we are dealing with corruption as a national issue, then it only makes sense to say that maybe something about our upbringing kind of facilitates it. And we all know that there's something about upbringing that facilitates corruption. It can be something as simple as maybe your dad buying you work results. It can be something as simple as your dad cheating on his taxes. It can be something as simple as your dad taking somebody's money and telling you, and then you look at your dad, it's like, oh, you can't succeed in Nigeria if you don't commit a little crime. Things like that. It affects. So, if you look at one national problem we have is honesty. We have that problem. It's a national problem. And the kind of honesty I'm talking about is, I'm not talking about, just say the truth. No. I'm talking about a different kind of honesty. The honesty I'm talking about really is about telling the truth, especially when you have something to lose when you say the truth. Is a different kind of honesty. It's not the kind of honesty that, who did this? You say that person, and then you go your way. No. I'm talking about this honesty whereby if you say something, you stand to lose something valuable. Let's say, for example, your boss is cheating on his wife, right? And then his wife comes to you and asks you, please, do you think my husband is cheating? And then the question that will go on in your head is, okay, if I say this man is cheating, the wife will confront him, and then when he finds out I said it, I'm going to lose my job, right? So you probably now say, oh, no, he's not cheating, he's a good guy, because you don't want to lose your job, your salary, you don't want to lose it, So it's difficult to kind of tell the truth in that situation, because you have a lot to lose. You might say, well, that's their own business. He's not cheating. He's not cheating. I don't want to lose my work, right? You see that? So now, in your own little way, it makes sense. Okay, I want to keep my job, I want to feed my family, and blah, blah, blah. It makes sense. Now, but imagine that just imagine it that maybe you are working with the president. Let's say you are the vice president of Nigeria, and then the president is making decisions, or that is terrible. That like is making bad decisions like Buhari has been making, right? So he's making bad decisions, and then he asks you, "Oh, is this correct? Is this right? Is this decision right?" And you feel, man, if I tell this man that this is a wrong decision now, he may ostracize me. He may not want to hear my voice. He may tell people that he may start treating me some kind of way, and I will not be useful to him. Maybe some money I get, or some money that maybe should trickle down to me, will not be given to me. Things like that. So because of that, you tell him, oh yeah, no, you're doing the right work. You're doing the right work. Oh man, you're wonderful. You're very intelligent. You're a genius. You tell him that. Now in that situation, there's a problem. You see, when you were doing it, when it has to do with you feeding your family, and it was in a small circle, you can get away with it. But when you are now a vice president, and you see something terrible that the president is doing, whether he's committing fraud or he's making wrong decisions, and you don't speak up and you don't speak out because you're afraid you will lose something, now the stake is higher, because now you're dealing with lives of millions of people. You know, before you may be like, oh, I don't want to lose my job and get money, right? Now you're dealing with lives of human beings, lives of millions of people, 200 million people. You're mortgaging their life simply because you are afraid to say the truth. And that is what is happening now in our country, really. If you look at the way things are going now, there's this mindset that is being created now that maybe his regime wasn't all that bad, you know. Oh, they tried to change money. Oh, there was a revolution. They tried to change money, or you can even say they changed money. What else again? Yeah, they had a refinery. You know, Dangote built a refinery in his regime. Oh, they commissioned road and bicycles and whatever they commissioned, right? And they tried to make it like, oh, this is a good administration. Forget the suffering you suffered. It's a good administration. This is what of us now. That one is in the past. Now, the problem with that is if you look at the dinners they're having and the whatever national, whatever lunch or brunch or whatever they're having now, you can see people congratulating our president. Oh, you did a good job. Even the Ghanaian president said, oh, we miss you, or we miss all the wonderful work you did. And we all know that the Ghanaian president is just messing with us. We know. It's not something that we'll have to go online and check. Was he saying the truth? We know. You understand what I'm saying? We all that are sitting down and clapping for him and Ben, you are so wonderful. We all know we are doing that he did a terrible job. We know. You understand what I'm saying? But there is this mass denial. You know, there is this mass, oh, don't talk about it, don't talk about this, don't talk about it. There's this mass denial. And that is why presidents in African countries make catastrophic decisions, because the people that they have with them don't tell them the truth, because they're afraid to tell the truth. And again, I don't blame them, because some of them, when you tell them the truth, they kill you off. Some of these dictators and all these dictators we have in Africa, when you tell them, oh sir, this is wrong, all of a sudden you are the enemy, you are the, what do you call it, you are from the opposition party planted you in this administration to spoil it, and before you know it, they kill you, or they take out everything and embarrass your family and stuff like that. So we feel that you have to go along with whatever nonsense that they are doing. And I get that. You know, because, but what are you sacrificing when you go along with the program? They say, if you are silent in oppression, you've given your consent. If I'm beating a woman and I'm hurting her, and you watch me do it, yes, you're not part of it, but you've accepted it because you did not interfere to stop it. So, now, when you look at this administration, I still don't understand how one individual can own a refinery. I've never heard of that before. And I think sometimes when you live in Nigeria, it looks like the country is a national comedy. You know, you cannot imagine the level of rascality, irresponsibility that goes on sometimes. How can an individual own a refinery? Now, you may not see the importance of it, or the CEO is that, because the press tries to run it like it's a good thing, it's a positive thing. But what is now the role of government if crude oil or petrol or whatever you want to call it is our national product, is what we export? Then why can't our government have a refinery that is efficient and is doing the job, refining the crude, so that we can export it? Why? And for a private individual to own a refinery is kind of scary, because if he owns a refinery, then that means tomorrow he may wake up and find out that this man that owns the refinery has bought up all the crude oil in Nigeria. It's true, and it's good business, really. No, to be sincere, it's good business. If you own a refinery, let's say I have a factory that processes maize. Yeah, right? We process maize in my factory. And then it makes sense for me to buy up all the maize, buy up all the maize, then I process it and then keep it at market price so that I can maximize my profit. So I don't have to pay any middleman. I just buy up all the maize. means it's my own process and get money. So that is so. Don't be surprised to wake up when I found out that Nigeria has struck a deal with Dangote refineries that all the crude oil belongs to him, or 80% of the crude oil that is being manufactured in Nigeria is his. So don't be surprised if that happens. Because honestly, even the Arab countries, I can't remember reading about one of them that owned the refinery. It's the government that owns the refinery. So to put it in the hands of a private individual, it is actually taking away another government responsibility. And then the question is, how can we respect the government, trust the government, when their responsibility, they are giving it away? They don't want to take any responsibility for anything. It's like having a father who will not feed you, who will not protect you, who will not put you in a house, and then you want to respect him. People only respect you when you are fulfilling the responsibility that you are supposed to fulfill. That's when people respect you. But when you fail to fulfill that responsibility, it's difficult for people to actually respect you for long, because it's only a matter of time that they start disrespecting because you're not meeting up to your responsibility. So, honestly, it's very important, man. It's very important. You may be lying in your own small circle and getting along with your boss. Maybe your boss is doing some maybe some fraudulent things, and you're keeping quiet because if you say something, he will fire you, and you will not have work, and your family will be out of the street, and all these things you overthink. But then, when you're in government and you know something is wrong, and you are saying it's right when you know it's wrong, and the mass, all of you in government is agreeing, saying this is a beautiful thing, when we know it's a terrible thing. You are gambling on people's lives, seriously, and that's not funny. It's not funny. This honesty issue, we need to think about it. On that note, I'm out. It's the Dark Prophet, and I just want to just say this, that this crude business is not right. It's not right. No matter how they want to spin it and make it look like it's the best thing that has ever happened to us since fried rice. There's just something wrong with an individual owning a refinery. It's just wrong, man. So wrong. So on that note, I'm out. It's Dark Prophet. So you can subscribe to my video, and you can leave comments on this, and let me just know how you feel about this issue